You guys, this is the most insane Blake Lively story that I just heard, and we need to talk about it, where Blake Lively was staying at this hotel in Waco, Texas, and this one girl made a series of TikToks talking about her experience staying at the same hotel as Blake Lively, and Blake Lively and her team allegedly trolling and harassing her and maybe calling her fat after the fact. I'm speechless, you guys. If this is really how her team is moving at a time like this, especially when in her lawsuit she's trying to claim that Justin Baldoni fat shamed her, like, when you hear stories like this, you're like, what the heck? How can you possibly be moving this way? Like, this is wild. And I understand if she felt threatened by this girl or just like unsafe or whatever, and she wanted to keep tabs on her. So meet Kate. She made a TikTok account because people in her life were telling her that she needed to come out and tell her story of this interaction with Blake Lively and what she's alleging transpired afterwards. Basically, she went on a mother-daughter trip with her mom in Waco, Texas, and Blake was recently in Texas for South by Southwest. She says the hotel staff was just buzzing when they checked in, saying that a VIP was arriving during their stay at the hotel, and everyone seemed to be aware that someone special was going to be on the premises. She says during their stay after dinner, there was a buzz of this VIP arriving, and it sounded like Blake Lively was going to be the star. She had been informed if she stayed in this little area, she would probably get a glimpse of the VIP, and so her and her mom camped out to see if they could catch a glimpse, and after some time, they did see Blake Lively come through the lobby, she says, and she filmed this.
Is she Blake Lively? Don't look up.
Like I said, this video was very insignificant. It's 18 seconds. It's her walking in, looking up, admiring the hotel. You can clearly tell it's her and her voice and her face if you do the work. And then she walks over, notices us, puts up her hand, and asks to grab a hat. And that's all that's on video.
She also noted that Blake had her children with her on this trip and that they each had a nanny with them. And she remembered that Blake and Ryan are kind of known to not have nannies, so she found that really interesting. Now, her stay at the hotel continues, and she noted some interesting vibes, but it wasn't totally weird until she checked out and was about to go to her car to head home. She says Blake literally came up to her and said hi and proceeded to film her, and her security filmed her car and license plate. She says it was so strange, and she posted about the situation on her Instagram story, writing, "In a turn of events this weekend, I added personally pissed off Blake Lively to my celebrity encounters, and she randomly appeared out of the hotel, came up to our car, said hi to me to get my attention, and then recorded my mom and I with her phone as we were checking out this morning before dashing back inside with her security person. I wish I was kidding."
My mom and I had just checked out of the hotel. Everything seemed like kind of normal, except for, the whispers and the commotion was still going on, which is to be expected when there's a celebrity staying here, I guess. Again, her security person was kind of like all over the place. So as we're checking out at the front desk, just briefly wrapping things up, did notice that the security guard was now all of a sudden downstairs in the lobby. Didn't really think anything of it. Obviously, there's a lot of, people move in, her kids, nannies, whatever was going on that day. The server had made it seem like maybe the meeting that she was having with Joanna Gaines was on Sunday, or maybe, the next few days or whatever. Not sure how long they were planning to be there for. So we walk outside. The valet person has our car ready to go. We, walk up to the car, start loading up, and all of a sudden I heard somebody say hi to me, and it sounded like a woman's voice. So I looked up, and shockingly, it was Blake Lively. She said hi to me to get my attention so I would look up at her, and I instinctively just said hi back because what do you say? She has her phone up recording us. Her and then her security guard comes out. They start circling my mom's car, getting the car on film, the license plates, our faces, everything. It all happened so fast. So we were just like, what the heck? So we got in the car. The security guard, I think she maybe passed her phone off to the security guard. My mom said, I wasn't really paying attention because I was like, what the heck is going on right now? What are they doing? And I think she ran back inside. I don't know where she came from, where she popped out from. She obviously was exposing herself to everyone for, just to get us on camera. I don't know what was happening, but the security guard then came up on the passenger side and was still recording. And then he, went back inside. And then we just left because what do you do? It was the weirdest thing ever, most bizarre thing that's ever happened to me.
She speculated on the reasoning, possibly being her team was suspicious of her because she was filming Blake in the lobby when she had come in, but also didn't know if it had to do with her having seen that they had nannies for their kids. She posted on her story, "Think this security camera caught me recording her while we were camped out on the couch because the front desk person told us if we hung around, we might see the VIP that the entire hotel staff was freaking out over." Things get really weird when random accounts started to then view her Instagram stories, and she alleged that these people all seemed to be connected to Blake or the hotel, and it was really strange.
That's when I noticed that I started getting strange views on my stories, like people that didn't follow me and that like I didn't recognize, a bunch of views. Like it wasn't just like one person, maybe had like a mutual connection and somehow found me. I don't know. It was like a bunch of people. And this was the first person I noticed. So it says right there, Hotel GM. So I was like, that's weird. So I was like, I wonder if she's like connected to Hotel 1928 somehow. Searched her on Google, and she came right up on LinkedIn here. So you can see her name there, Hotel General Manager at Hotel 1928. So I was like, what the heck? Like, why is the GM of the hotel looking at my stories? That's when I also noticed that there was incognito accounts that were starting to pop up looking at my stories too. I was like sharing things here and there. You can go look at my Instagram highlight. I thought, everything that I've shared on there saved to a highlight. So you can see kind of like what I was posting. I was just kind of, talking about the case and just things in general, trying to make connections, like things like that. But so these started popping up, viewing my stories, and I was like, this is weird. So I started like hiding them all and blocking these people because I was like, this is super weird. Like, why are these people that I do not know stalking me? So this was one of the things that I shared on my stories. I just was looking for, things that I thought were interesting on just Google. So this one says, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds don't use nannies for their 4 children. This looked like it was, this is like a recent thing, recent article or whatever, basically just praising them for not using nannies. And I thought this was so interesting because they were very clearly with nannies on this trip. And their children. And so, so I posted that, and then, what do you know? This person pops up having viewed my stories. So curious, of course, because I didn't know this person. I clicked on her profile, and it said something about New York, and I was like, no way. Like, she kind of resembled like the nanny, one of the nannies that we saw with the kids, and I was like, there's no way. Like, there's literally no way that Blake Lively's nanny would be looking at my Instagram stories. Sure enough, searched her name on Facebook. This came up right away as public information. Works at nanny, household manager, family assistant.
It honestly sounded like the hotel gave Blake or her team or security this girl's information to look her up for possibly safety reasons, but it really ended up being alleged harassment online. At least that's how it sounds. Like, I don't know why they had to go as far as to do these things if they really did.
Then I see this person named Molly Sage pop up on my views, and I was like watching them like a hawk at this point, like just to see like who else was looking at my stories that could possibly be connected to her. So this girl looked at all my stories, and then I noticed like she was gone like when I went back, but I still had her in like my recent search history, and so like I couldn't figure out the connection, like hadn't gone to Blake Lively's page or anything like that. I was talking with my friend about it, and then she goes to Blake Lively's page and searches the name, and sure enough, Blake Lively follows her. Then after a quick Google search, my friend found that she is literally Blake Lively's social media person.
And she wasn't shy about knowing that they were viewing her posts either, because she was putting them on blast on her story. She shared, "No, but tell me why the hotel general manager and a bunch of random incognito accounts are stalking me right now, with several linked to New York City, where Blake and Ryan live." It was just really strange that things that she was posting on her Instagram soon began to be the usernames that they were using for these accounts. Like, she had posted a selfie with hashtag Team Justin Forever, and then a Team Justin Forever account started following her on Instagram, and she posted about it, calling them out, writing, "How many fake accounts will they use and make to stalk me? The fact that Blake Lively cares about what I have to say about all of this is blowing my mind." She also posted about this account having followed her, called Mommy Vacay Married on 11/11/23, which is her wedding date, which is just creepy. And also the fact that she was on a mother-daughter vacation And she wrote on her stories calling this out, saying, "The lengths they are going to. It was a mom-daughter trip, and yes, I was married on 11/11/23. Do they not realize these accounts can be traced back to them?"
This account looked at my stories, all of them. And again, it popped up as like potential spam. Mommy vacay married on 11/11/23. So if you don't know, my wedding date was 11/11/23. And the reason for our stay on our reservation with the hotel was like a mother-daughter, mommy-daughter vacation. I'm not sure exactly what words my mom had put on there, but this made it very clear that the Hotel 1928 staff had given all of our personal information to Blake and her team, and they were now using this against me as like a scare tactic or, whatever, but this was very clearly now like bullying and harassment from Blake Lively and her team. So in this, I mentioned like, do they not realize that these accounts can be traced back to them? Because that is a very easy thing to come out. So there's a couple things that you can do to kind of get information about an account. You can click the three dots, and I think it says about this account. It'll tell you the month and the year that the account was made. And then also, if it's just made, like brand new within the last few days, it'll show that new mark right there. So that's information that you can find out about the account. And then also, of course, like Instagram would know what phone number or email address the accounts are linked to. And this could be, subpoenaed in court, whatnot, all that. And found out and very clearly linked back to her team. And likely the people doing this, I imagine Blake Lively herself is not doing this from her phone. If she was, that would be, a whole nother level, like Blake Lively personally bullying and harassing me for recording her in a public hotel. But I have a feeling it's likely the, PR people, social media people that have the time on their hands to be doing this. Like, this is literally their job to, like, attack people that are, maybe going against Blake Lively in this case.
And in terms of her feeling like they called her fat, it was because they had created an account called Fat and Not Fabulous.
I had previously deleted this selfie because I was like, whatever, it said Team Justin Forever, like, not really relevant. Then I ended up reposting it, as you can see here. Reposted the selfie, and I put, basically called them out because I, picked up on what they were doing. So they were naming their stalking pages after, like, what I was posting, basically. So then, after I reposted that selfie, this account popped up, Fat and Not Fabulous. And so at all of these accounts, basically the only reason that I was finding them is because they were purposely, like, looking at my stories. Obviously, some of them wanted to, remain like incognito, like the lawyer and Molly Sage, because they were blocking me afterwards, but I caught it because I was looking at the stories and looking at my views. But this was like uncalled for. Like, seriously, you're going to call me fat? Like, really? After you just put in your complaint against Justin Baldoni, something about a comment he made about your weight, which, supposedly happened, which probably did not happen. But yeah, so it marked it as spam. And then every time I saw one of these, I would block it.
It's just so crazy how these accounts were linked back to Blake Lively or somebody related to her or someone that she was following. But this is just the craziest story, truly. I mean, really, to make all of this up would be really insane because it's a long-winded story, like multiple parts. She was very detailed about the hotel and the vibes and the rooms and the doors and everything. Like, this girl was not playing about this story, I'll tell you that. But for Blake and her team to allegedly be moving this way behind the scenes, like making all of these accounts, like for what? Like, I could see if her security was suspicious of this girl and her mom having, waited around in the lobby for Blake and kept looking at Blake or something and felt the need to just keep an eye out or something, just doing his job and maybe making a note of the car just in case they were to have been crazy and followed them later on or something, while Blake was also in a car. But to go to the lengths to make accounts on Instagram and view her story and have these account names match up to either things that she was posting on Instagram or things about her, it is just really, really creepy. I want to know what you guys think about everything. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.